I went to the East Brisbane school when I came from Harbin, and I couldn't speak a word of English. And your poor grandmother, she used to get out of school to make sure that that I was all right. That's at the East Brisbane State School, and we had.
You must have all gone there.
We had, and there was the school, the first grade. The prep teacher, she was Miss Noel, and she had white hair, and I always used to call my grandmother Babushka.
You didn't call her Babushka, did you?
Yes, because she had white hair, I kept calling her Babushka. She was lovely, and Miss Noel, and she was lovely, lovely lady.
What was Jewish education like?
Yes, wonderful. Now, Mr. Lebanon, he patented and he invented these screens. They were absolutely marvellous. There were about 100 children going to Cheder in those days.
We had no hall in those days. We used to go into the shul to remember the different classes in the shul.
And you know, can I tell you?
No.
I'll tell you.
She's very naughty.
This is my fault. It wasn't Sylvia's fault. In those days, the men had grooves in their hats, you know. And Sylvia and I left the class. We excused ourselves.
It was being held beneath where we went.
That's right. And we tore up lots of little bits of paper, and we went upstairs and looked down, and here was Mr. Lebanon teaching the children with his head down, and we
throw the paper over.
He had a hat full of paper, and he lived behind Sylvia.
And I got into trouble. She told me she was going to say that.
Yes, but it was good. The growing up was beautiful. It was really lovely. And associated with the Talmud Torah, the guild used to work for the shul, as they do now, and they were absolutely wonderful. Well, Sylvia and I were educated into working for the guild from an early age of about 7 years of age. And I mean...
That was our fun.
Oh, we loved it.
You had to create your own interesting things to do in those days, you know. It's not like TV or anything today.
No, and then we had the guides, the first Judean guide group.
That's right. That wasn't very big. We didn't have too many.
No, but Mrs. Levine and Jess Hoffman and Mina Solomon, they more or less were the captain and vice captain, lieutenant. Oh, and we used to go on these wonderful hikes and camps. Yes, they were marvellous. Growing up was beautiful. It was wonderful. Mrs. Max, she was really an identity of the shul. She was a very big but very dignified,
very jolly
lady.
Woman too.
And in those days, we had our debut at the Trocadero, and they had these beautiful steps, and we were at the Trocadero. Yes.
I thought it was at Rose Cafe.
No, we had our weddings there. These beautiful steps, and here was this large lady.
Yeah.
Roy Phillips was the manager of that.
That's right.
Walking down those steps so gracefully.
Yes, she looked so regal.
It was absolutely.
Did she have a train on her frock?
Did she?
I think
and
so.
she was really. It was absolutely beautiful. And now we always always introduced and bow to the governor, of course.
This is a photo of my grandfather and a hawker's wagon that he and my father used to go into the country. I know they mentioned Canungra. They used to sit around a campfire at night, you know, with the farmers.
Right.
And what sort of things did he sell?
They used to, you name it, they sold it. I know bolts of cloth, pots and pans, even glasses they used to sell. And that was about 1910. My mother came from Manchester. When she was 21, she came out from England with her aunt and uncle, Isaac and Rachel Friedman. And that was in 1913, and in March he opened this factory, and it's been going 86 years in March. I think there are so many people who came to Brisbane who were in the clothing or the tailoring trade worked there. I know my father-in-law did, my late father-in-law, and
I think Dad did
your father,
too,
and there was a Mr. Levy.
I know. I've got a photograph.
There were quite a few that worked in the factory.
My family originally came from Russia, and with the pogroms, everything, they came over to Harbin, and Mother met my father in Harbin and married him then, and he was killed in the First World War, and then we came to Brisbane, and Mother married Dad there at the Deschen Street Shul. and then they went over later on to Margaret Street. In Trinity Lane, where there were the Leibovs, the Eshenskys, the Borshs, and the Rabois. And Mr. Borsch used to have a sulky. Oh, we used to love going in that sulky. There were no trams or anything, and they were very old-fashioned ones. But that stands out in my mind so vividly, that sulky. It was wonderful.
We grew up together, and then I married her cousin. And became related.
And then I married Philip Briner, and I think we connected, or we combined two of the biggest families in Brisbane.
How do you think things have changed now?
Completely.
Different altogether. I think it's much harder for young people. Well, it is much harder for young people today in every way.
It is. You see, we had the security. We were brought up around the shul. The shul was their mainstay, and everything revolved around that, and it was a lovely, secure feeling. I mean, we mixed with outside people as well. I mean, we're not only Jewish people, and it was a lovely, lovely feeling. It was very secure, wasn't it, Sylvia? Education is a very important factor these days. I mean, the children have got to study, and they study. That is number one. And I mean, in our day, that wasn't as important as going to shul regularly. Don't you agree, sir?
And we used to take our kids to shul.
That's right. Every Friday night and Saturday. The fathers used to take them Friday night, and the mothers always used to go on the Shabbat, the Saturday. And everything was just revolved around the shul. It was a lovely, secure feeling. Lovely. And I don't think they could appreciate our way of life.
World.
And the organisations, we had the YZL originally. And
that's right, and we had the Jipper.
And the YZL was first, and we used to enjoy it. I loved the debates.
What was the YZL?
The Young Zionist League, and that we used to have debates, and we used to then we had concerts, and the Jipper came, and then we used to have plays. We were in a lot of plays, weren't we, Syl? And they had reviews. That Sylvia did a lot of singing in that.
It was fun.
But
they don't. There's nobody today.
There's not that many children today, Sylvia.
Well, they go away from here.
There's
not that many anymore.
I know.
And it's a pity, because if they'd all get together, they do get together in a different way now. There's the Beitar now.
That's right. It's a different way
of life altogether.